Hi everyone, welcome to this video. So in this video we want to start with Zoho Forms, since in the first video I did was just about the introductory. So here is a real video where we are starting about Zoho Forms, and Zoho Form is one of the 55 apps we have in Zoho One. So right now I want to sign up for a new account already, although I have an account, but since we are doing this class for a beginners, just to make things easier, I will sign up for a new account, then we begin the process. So first of all, you go to one.zoho.com. So that's exactly where you're going to, one.zoho.com. So once you go to one.zoho.com, it's going to take you to this particular page I'm on, but I just want to show you that this is exactly where it's going to take you to. So you activate the free trial. So once you click on activate free trial, so it's going to take us to where we are going to sign up for Zoho One. So once we get the sign up page, so we're gonna put our full name, company name, and all of that. So let's say Chris. Company name, let's say Chris Digital. This name is. So let's change this number to Nigerian number. So let's type in number 65978. So let's use this our email, Reason 360 Gmail account. That's the email I have available. So the password to the email. Okay, so that is that for that. So we can, yes, we would like to receive, and yes, let's tick up this. So let's get started. So it's creating our account for us. So once the account is created, it takes us to the Zoho One dashboard. So that's exactly where this actually takes us to. So it takes us to Zoho One dashboard, and yeah, finally we are entering Zoho One dashboard. So the first thing we would do is verify your email. Don't forget to verify your email. It shows them that your account is active, and when you've done that, the next thing we are going to is Zoho Forms. So we are moving into Zoho Forms. So next, let's save this. Allow. So next, so I'm gonna skip this for now. Then yeah, so the first thing I will want to do, let me skip all of this. So this is the getting started page, but the Zoho One dashboard itself is this home page. So this is your Zoho One dashboard. So after that, since it is forms we actually want to create. So since it's these forms we actually want to create, we are going to be going to Zoho Forms. So you go to the left panel, and at the left panel you see more apps, and you can see we've not added any app yet. So you just search for forms, add. So it's going to take us to the Zoho Forms account in a new tab. So it has been added successfully, so just click on it. Yeah, that's taking us to a new tab. So I'll be creating a form from scratch. So this is our Zoho Forms page. New form. Let's call this form contact us. So we want to be creating a form from scratch. You can use templates. They are like built-in templates by Zoho. For you can see different type of templates, you know. Oh, I would, for this particular video, I want us to like create the form from scratch. So this can be like enable you to understand the features that Zoho Forms has. So I'll be creating a new form from scratch, and let's call it the contact us. So let's create this. So you can see that we have like the standard form, and we also have the there are two type of form. If you notice, like before we got here, we saw the standard, we saw the card. So for the standard, this is like the normal form you usually see. For the card, each field will be separated, like each field will be on one page. So for example, let's say I draw the name field, so only the name will be on one page. When you now click next, you see the other and the second field in another page. So that's the way the card one is. But for this, like for the sake of this video, and for the sake of the fact that the most common form we have is this one, we'll just stick with this. Then the name, the address, I'll just be creating a simple form. The phone number, the email, I think that's everything we need for like a simple form. So now for the name, let me explain some fields. For example, instructions. So in these instructions is if you want like people to know, maybe for this name part you want them to like enter like maybe some necessary details, you want to specify what type of name they should enter or anything. Or let me just use let me just use name for example. I think the best to use would be, I don't think I would use this, but let me just go and use a single line instead. So single line is if you have any other field that you want to add in mind, but let me call this field what's your interest. So instructions are like you want to give people the kind, like let them know what they are to fill in this particular field. So let's say the instructions is let us know your interests in Zoho apps. Please specify the apps in Zoho. So I've let them know that okay, I want them to specify the apps that interest them in Zoho, and that's instructions. And the instructions shows, let me click save. It shows at the base of the field. As you can see it here, it shows at the base of the field. Then the next one is place order. So once you click on that, that's when the properties appear. So next is placeholder. Placeholder appear inside the field itself. So let me just copy this and place it here. So let me just say enter your interests. Enter the Zoho apps. I think that will be the most specific one. So let's say something like, I'm very sure that you've seen fields that the right name and in between the fields you write enter your name. So let me show you how it looks like. So this is placeholder text. Look at how it looks like here. It's inside the field. So I'm very sure you've seen maybe email they wrote here, and the inside here you say enter your email. So that is what it is. So for this placeholder text, once you just click on it to fill it, it disappears. But for your instruction, it continues to remain there. Whether anything that happens, your instruction does not disappear. But for the placeholder, once the person starts filling in the field, it disappears. So that's for that. So the next thing is initial value. Let's say maybe there's a a value that you want them to fill in. Let's say interest is the initial value that you want them, that is written there. And let me clean up this since I've explained placeholder. So let's say interest is the initial value. So when they are filling it in access the form, let me access the form, you would see it there, interest. It came out as the initial value. Do you understand? So this is how what that works. So let's go back. So, and the character limit for single line field is 255 characters, not words, characters. Whether it's a space or a letter or a number, all of them are considered characters. So it is 255 characters. So let's move to the next one. Yeah, so that's actually applicable for everything, for whenever you're creating a form. And if you want to change your form title, you can change it here. And also, if you want to like edit the font of this particular form, so let's click on this. You can see rich text. So you want to edit the field, and you want to like, you want to make it, maybe you want to make the font bold, or you want to change the font, or make it look better, you could do it from here. Bold, slant, underlined, like you can play with it. You want to increase the size, you can increase the size, change the colors, you can change the colors. You want to put like a background to it, you can, but I'm not doing that anyways. And let's say you want to raise to power, like you can play around with it. This, like, maybe you want to add a subscript to it or a superscript to it, you can play around with it. So let's cancel this because that's not exactly what I want to build here. So that's this forms for you. So let me put this down below here. What's your interest? So this is it. Then for the themes, so this is where we add themes. We add themes at this part of the video. You can create themes from scratch, or you can use the already built themes here. But if it's for like, when you meet clients, they'll tell you like, this is my logo color, I want all my forms to be my logo color. For me, my logo color is green, blue, yellow, so I would like the form to also be in my logo color. So some people just prefer to create it from scratch. Then here you can organize the form or touch the form to where you want it to be transparent, where it do not show the white. This thing, you can see the difference between the two. You can make it be like this, or you can make it be like, depending on how you want it to be. Then that's the next thing. The font, you want it to be bigger, you want it to be smaller. The wallpaper, like you want to change the colors, you can play around with it. You can change the colors to what you want it to be. You can, I think this is too bright. You can like change the colors to your taste, like what you want. Black, purple. Well, let's just go with something mild. Yeah, I prefer this. So let's see, you want to add image to your banner. So let's say you want to add an image to your banner. Downloads. Let's see if I have an image here. So let's say we want to add an image, although this is my LinkedIn banner, but let's see. Insert. So this is just like a sample, it's just like an example, so it's not really like the real deal. So let's see how this turns out. So this is how your banner is actually going to come out once you add the banner. So you can see how good looking it is for your banner. So you could expand, make it fitted, but I think I'll prefer the first one. Image size, you could reduce, you could increase to fit. You could, center is always preferable. Then header, The form title, you could customize it to the what you want and all of that. You could play around all this. It's something that you can play around. You can change the font of your form. You can change the font, whatever font of your header, you can change it. So, and as well as the page, okay, you don't have any page, this is your container. This part is your container, so you can play with it however you want it to be. You can play with it, and you can change the colors. But for this, I'm not changing the colors. Then the background to it too, you can change it there. You can change the gradient. So I'm actually not really changing all these things. You can see, you can fit to screen, but I prefer the custom because fit to screen is kind of like, large, but I prefer this. Then fields. So you can change the label of the fields. These are the labels of the fields, and this is the instructions. So the instruction will be in this color, and that's the instruction here. You can see. So once you change the color, the instruction is going to change. So you could actually play around with all this. Then for the button, if you want to change the color of the button, you can see you can change the shape of your button. You can see it's changing around, fits to screen. Like, you can play around with it. Change the color of your button. You can see you really play around with it. Like, if you want to add border color, you can see it makes a lot of sense. So that is how the forms work. So I think that's pretty it for me building this form. Let me apply this. So let's apply this. So once I apply it, it's actually going to show the way it is here. So let's go back. Let's cancel here. It's going to reload and show us what we've designed as a theme. And that's it here. So the next thing on the line is, let's go into, so now we want to configure the email notification so that when a form record is filled, you get notified. So you configure this. Okay, so don't make sure you verify your email once you sign up to Zoho One. Make sure you verify your email so that you can be able to use this part. Please, let's take note of that. Verify your email so you can be able to, before you start doing anything in forms, make sure you verify your email so you can be able to use this part. So okay, so let's say notifications, so we don't have any issues. Then there's this, because we don't have a domain, so we're just using Gmail, and we cannot be verifying Gmail. To be able to send from, you have to verify your domain, and Gmail is not our domain. We're just using Gmail as an email, like an email service provider. So let's don't really go into that. So the next thing is, so this is how you're going to do it, but for clients that they have their own domain, they will need to verify their domain. Do you get it? As you can see, I think they brought it out, DKM verified email. So that is how it is for anybody that wants to send through their own domain. So subject, let's say a new record entered. So, and don't forget, for Zoho One, the tool one can only be the email of the account you use to sign up to Zoho One. Let's take note of that too. So let's call this thing name. Let's don't waste time with this. First name, last name, what's the next thing? Address. I think let me just say name and email, because time is not on our side. Email. Let's say name and email. I don't know why this keeps turning here. And let's save this. So we are gonna do a test now to actually check if this works. So this is the form. Let's fill the form and let's see how that works. So I would go copy the form from the public link, click on share, then this is the public link, just click on it and that's automatically copied. Then I'll go to like another browser, yes, and I will paste it. Then I will fill the form. So let's fill the form. Let's say Chris tests, email, let's send email, Christiana @gmail.com. Then phone number, let's say 0064543. Address, test address, other things. Interests tests. So all these are just tests. I'll not really be doing much of it. We see the country, we brought out the countries, so let me just choose Nigeria. You can just search for it to make things faster. Zip code is actually really test, so I don't want to do too much. Test city, test states. Okay, so I think we've all filled everything, so we'll be expecting Chris test as the name and email as christiana.10@gmail.com. So we filled this, submitted. So let's move to, let's see if we receive it in our email. So my email is not on here, but I would screenshot it and put it on this video now. So here is the screenshot of the email on my own email. So that's it, to show you that our record worked. It worked. So the next thing on the line would be, let's see. So once we filled in the form and all of that, so the next thing will be, let's see how well we take this form record and we want to store it in a work drive. So I think this will just be the first video to make things not too long. So the next video will just be how to store your records as a file attachment, and the next one will be how to send the data from your record to the CRM. So that is what the next video will be about. So see you in my next video. Bye.